It wasn't a drug dealer. It wasn't a mass murderer. It wasn't, hey, I want to spend time in the pen. You're not a kid in here. If you talk to him, wants to grow up and be something bad. But you know what? This old boy, he probably started out. You know what he probably started out? He may. Let's just say I'm gonna speculate some things because I don't know. I mean, he's just a drawing. But I'm gonna speculate some things. Let's say the old boy started out. He was a good kid. Went to school. Maybe played on the football team. Maybe he was a quarterback. Had some high aspirations. Maybe even had some colleges looking at him. And let's just say he got to college. And he got to college, man, and he's maybe into his second year of college. Everything's going great. Life is grand, man. And all of a sudden, one of them big, mean defensive linemen come through the line and hit him. And he don't just hit him. I mean, he lays his boy out. And the next thing you know, he's out cold, and they're dragging him off, and his shoulder's messed up. He's going in for shoulder surgery. And he's out for the rest of the season. Next thing you know, the doctor's giving him the bad news. You'll never play football again. You're not going to make it to the NFL. And everything, and his girlfriend's the cheerleader and all that, the American story, right? He ends up working at some car lot selling cars. She ends up, disappointed in her life. And, the next thing you know, when you're disappointed and depressed, alcohol comes in. He starts drinking a little bit. Next thing you know, him and her, they just argue all the time. And, well, he don't understand me and she don't understand him. They're just arguing and fussing and fighting. And finally, the marriage is over. She takes the kids and she takes off and she leaves. Of course, he's left now, even more depressed because life just hasn't turned out the way he thought it would turn out. There's 1,000 stories just like that all across America. It could be, like I said, it could be a girl. It could have been a woman, the same thing. She started out, the guy that she fell in love with was a quarterback. Man, we're gonna have all the big dreams, and it falls apart for whatever reason. And now all of her girlfriends are there. Man, she don't want to hang around them because she sees their life versus her life, and her life hasn't turned out the way she thought it ought to turn out. And all of her girlfriends are married, their husbands are successful, and here he is, he's just selling cars at the car lot. And she goes to the doctor, she can't talk to her husband, he won't talk to her, they don't communicate, so she goes to the doctor, he says, well, here, take these pills. And he gives her some pills, and she starts taking pills, and she starts out with her little drink of scotch maybe in the evening, or a glass of wine or whatever, and she takes her pills. Don't matter. They're all going to end up the same. What happens? Well, they end up in the desert. They end up out here alone, without God, without hope, dying in the desert. What can you do? Well, they need something. They need something that the world can't give them.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, friend, the world can't give you everything you need. I never could draw hands. I'll have to give my goofy looking hand. Here he is, he's out there. He's down, man, the world is beating down. What's beating down? Well, let's say it was a old can of Bud Dummer. That's what a lot of redneck, old Bud Dummer, man. Got on that, started drinking. And then, of course, like most men, when they get out there in the world, they got to have their girly magazines. Got to have those. So now his wife doesn't have anything for him anymore, so he turns to something else. He goes up here to the mouse's ear someplace.